everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Kyra, and I'm here with a tarot dilemma, asking myself the question, do I really need both these decks? If you haven't been here before, hello again and welcome. I hope you'll consider liking this video, subscribing, hitting the bell notification, and joining us here on YouTube. It really helps me keep doing the stuff here on YouTube that I love doing. For those who don't know, this is my job. This is my full-time work, not just YouTube, but reading and witchy life. I do tarot readings. You can always find the info in the descriptions. I do a lot of astrology work, etc., etc. So doing those simple things of liking, subscribing, commenting, it really helps me out. Now, to the meat of the video. And frankly, I'm fucking mad that I'm making this video. So, the thing is, I have the This Might Hurt Tarot, and I got this over a year ago for my birthday. And if you saw my classics, this is one of my classics. There's the backs, there's the sides, the My Classics videos up above in the cards. I consider this one of my classics. And not only is it a classic, it was my first real like Rider-Waite-Smith clone, and it completely changed and shook up and leveled up the way I read tarot. And then recently, I had this whole thing. I didn't even do a video first impressions of this because this is the Lunasol Tarot. It's another one that's very Rider-Waite-Smith based. It's not like neither of these are complete clones, but you can see so clearly the Rider-Waite-Smith, right? And what happened was for this deck, I didn't do a walkthrough because I just wanted it like as a moment for myself when I got it. This was a very emotional purchase because I have a sun and moon opposition in my astrology chart, which is a huge important point of my learning and growth. There's always been something about the duality, the balance of the sun and the moon that has been important to me. And I kept seeing this deck and I kept looking at it a little and being like, no. And then one day, like I kept being drawn to the colors of it and all of this. And I was like, nah. And then one day I decided to watch Lisa's walkthrough, which is up above in the cards. And that was when I found out, and I figured out for the first time, even though it's obvious, that this deck is all about duality. It's all about the balance. And I had a very emotional realization around it, and I bought it immediately. And I was looking at it and I was like, okay, this is for me. This deck is for me. I was afraid, rightfully so, that if I got this deck, it would either threaten this one in that I would use this one less, or I wouldn't use this one because I have this one. And I can tell you 100,000,000%, this deck, This Might Hurt Tarot, its place in my collection is solid. It is so solid, I intend to buy a backup copy of this deck because I am so attached to it. I can't imagine not having it. So then the question would be, do I need this? I've put them in order, and I was thinking I would just look through them in order and ramble at you with my thoughts. So we've started at the Fool, and I've put them into the same order. The thing about these decks is they're both modernized in a way. Although the This Might Hurt feels more in this world, in this realm. And strictly speaking, I like the art of the This Might Hurt better, and the coloration better. It's stronger. Like this Empress card, I love that there's an Empress card that is not heavily pregnant. I don't need my Empress to be heavily, like, to not be heavily pregnant, but it's nice when the figure is not. I don't like this Emperor. It's kind of weird. I'm just unsure about it. And when I got the Lunasol, I used it a ton. I did. And I tried. I also don't like this Hierophant. I tried. I tried finding ways, because I was thinking I could use it to work on that balance and duality within myself. And I guess what I'm wondering, I also kind of don't like this, lovers. Like, I like that there's, that the couple is people of different races. I like this figure, but what's with this line? I don't understand. There's something about some of the cards in the Lunasol that it's like, oops, it's like they're just not quite reachable. I like the Hermit. But see, when I put them side by side, this doesn't even come close to holding a candle to the This Might Hurt. They're both modernized in a way, and which is nice. This, oh, I guess I didn't realize that Strength and Justice were flipped. So let me do that. Sorry about that. So let's rewind a little bit. Boop, boop. Okay, so let's just go back for a moment to Strength. Because you see, this is a good example of the problem. What I really love is the sun-moon duality balance built into this, and the way it's showcased. And there's some cards in here that are my absolute favorite. So like here, I love this. I don't like how sad this lion looks, though. I truly don't know how to process this, which is why I figured it wouldn't hurt to just try this way, right? I love this kitty. And see the sky. I love when they do this. I'm just... And see, the Hanged Man's another great one. I love the duality and the balance of this. I love the way they work it. Like, it's very balanced. I guess I'm just wondering, as a tarot deck, though, does it work? This is one of my favorite death cards. It's so beautiful. I love it. His feet are planted. The sun is setting. He's got a flower growing out from within him. I love it. And the thing is, I got this deck specifically just to work with me. And I have trouble reading for just me. And I'm not saying I wouldn't read for this, for other people with this. And perhaps I just should have known better. Because a part of me knew that this deck would have trouble standing up against this. Most things would. I have, in fact, not bought a lot of things because It has to be well worth the risk of potentially unseating my This Might Hurt, which frankly I don't think is possible. But like, I'm looking at this art now, I feel like there's something kind of disjointed about it. This deck is an easy read. It sings for me. Oh. This deck, it's clear in a way. Did I use this in my classics? I don't remember. Let me look. Hold on. Okay. So I did have both of these in my classics video, which some of you might have remembered. And I've just watched through what I said. And it's weird because I want to correct something I said in that video. In that video, I said I use this a lot. And it should have been past tense. Because this is one of those decks that I got. And when I got it, I used it a ton. I was pulling it for my daily cards. And I kept pulling random readings for it. I do enjoy that there's two people or two kids together in the sun card along with a unicorn here. I still like this sun card better. This judgment card, I don't like it. I hate it. It bothers me. I don't know why. It just doesn't feel like judgment at all. I like the kitty. I like the rainbow and the sun. Even this judgment's a bit harder for me to connect to the way judgment has come calling in my life, but I still like this better than this. And it's no contest. This world card is 100,000% better. I like this Ace of Wands. So, I mean, I used it and I did a lot of trying to use it. And in hindsight, I think I did a lot of picking it up and pulling cards. These two are very similar, which I really love them both. I do. But I did a lot of picking it up, pulling cards, and not actually, I would end up putting the cards away. Like I can't read them. I do love this Six of Wands, the way it's just a power stance kind of thing. I don't know what to do. They're so similar. Like the type of deck they are, they're both modernized. They're both Rider-Waite-Smith inspired, almost clones. Like if you take the Rider-Waite-Smith inspiration and modernize it, this Ten of Wands is a no. I hate it. It doesn't convey the message that I know to be in the Ten of Wands. This card stalks me a lot. This conveys it. Because the Ten of Wands is a lot about the obvious thing that comes to mind when you look at the Ten of Wands first is someone who is overburdened, who is carrying too much, which is what this image shows. But there's so much more to that. It's like in the Tarot of the She, they call it the Great Sacrifice. Woo! Sorry, just trying to adjust my lighting. They call it the Great Sacrifice. It's something that they would have, the person carrying the wands would have no other way. It's not necessarily a burden, though it can weigh heavy on them sometimes. And I don't get any of that here. I don't like this Page of Wands. It's so weird because I did have such a strong reaction to this deck, to the Lunasol when I got it. And this King of Wands, no contest. Oh, If that was a choppy, bad edit, that's my bad. I got a phone call. The thing is, I'm so frustrated. I'm so upset because at the time, I felt like I knew and understood that the swords are going to be really where I can tell a lot, because so far, not a single one of these cards do I like it better than the This Might Hurt. I like certain elements, like this background on the Temperance card. It's astounding. I love it. It just, ugh, I'm so mad. Anyway, the swords will really tell a lot, because the Nine of Swords in this deck is incroyable. So this I don't get the Two of Swords meaning from at all. I'm just very sad because, like, at the time, I could have sworn this one's not bad. It's just not as good as this. I could have sworn that this one, like, it felt like it spoke to me more, but now I'm looking at all the things. I do like this Seven of Swords. I felt like I liked it more. But now that I'm looking at them again, it's like, but actually, do I? This is a fantastic Nine of Swords. This is, I can't pick which is better. So that's a tie. So that's cool. I do really, 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 really love this Nine of Swords, but this one's really good too. I might like this one a little bit better, but that's just the Nine of Swords. The Ten of Swords, I do love this, how the flowers are coming out from where the swords have pierced them. But I also, is it light washing it a bit? Is it light washing the message a bit? Because the flowers can distract from the difficulty of this card. It's just like, it just doesn't read to me as well. And I'm just not sure. And I thought, okay, this Two of Cups is phenomenal. And I'm just looking at it now and wondering, though, do I like it as a Two of Cups? Or do I like it as a piece of art and what it symbolizes? Do I like this as a tarot card? Or do I like the symbolism of this? Like this, I want a picture of this big blown up on my wall. Because the balance it represents, the duality, is perfection. It's beautiful. It's stunning. But as a tarot card, you know what it is? I feel like this deck doesn't have as much feeling compared to this. Like, I feel the emotions in this deck. There's something about this that, for whatever reason, it just doesn't quite land. This is just weird. Maybe it's the coloration. The coloring on this is so dynamic and fabulous. And even here, like, yeah, it's a person and the lotus, but, like, I don't see any fulfillment in their face. I think I like what this deck, what the Lunasol stands for. I do love this Knight of Cups on a fish. It's ridiculous. But it's not like... It just doesn't read. I don't feel it. It doesn't come across. This is beautiful. Oh God, I'm so upset. I'm so upset. This, it doesn't even make sense to me. And that, I think I should have listened to myself. A part of me is hoping that maybe, just maybe, I'll want to work with this deck again when it's like a colder, quieter time of the year. But they're just... The type of deck they are is very similar. They are a modern Rider-Waite-Smith inspired deck. It's meant to more reflect the world we live in. There is 2 extra cards. It just doesn't quite work, read. I feel like I'm hoping that maybe this deck will just like somehow come back to life for me. Like, it feels like I had a similar experience with my Whispering Spirits. I got the Whispering Spirits and I had a really, really profound first reading with it. And it went great, and then it just fell flat. And I gave that to my sibling-in-law. I admit I've kind of missed it. I've sat there and been like, "Aw," but I haven't. I missed it, and I wonder if maybe I got rid of it too hastily. But the thing is, there's something else this and the Whispering Spirits have in common. I sat there. There was a part of me that hesitated with the Whispering Spirits and with this. Like, I looked at this deck and would see it and would be like, oh, that's really cool. And would be like, ooh, what's this? And then I'd look at it and I'd go, no. Maybe, and I wonder and I worry, because I had the same kind of thing with the Star Seeker, and I've bonded to that so much. And so I wonder and I worry, am I just being premature? Am I just being impatient? Should I hold on to this and wait and see if it comes back to life for me? Is it because I just haven't found the way to work with it? But I don't. Besides the Nine of Swords, I like some of these cards as like the art, and I like the symbol, and I love the concept. I'm just not sure if I like how the concept landed. I don't know. But so far, it's not proving to hold up the same way this one holds up. My This Might Hurt Tarot is a deck that, as soon as I start to think, oh no, I haven't been using my This Might Hurt Tarot, I pull it out and I use it, because I would do anything to make sure that I don't stop using this deck. So that actually happened. I got new decks and I started to not use the This Might Hurt. And right as I was starting to feel really sad, like, oh my gosh, I'm neglecting my This Might Hurt, I found a way to use it. I started using it for my Patreon readings. And it's something I use. Cora, hold on. It's something I use with clients. Now, granted, it's not something I use a lot with clients. Now, granted, it's not something I use a lot with clients because, bear in mind, there will be noises of doggy, because the vast majority of my client work so far is my specialty client work, which uses my Starseeker Tarot and Heavenly Bodies astrology deck combo, right? So I don't have a lot with this, but I got this deck a year ago, and I have spent, of that year, I think there has been at least 4 or 5 months where I used this every single day for my daily pull. Right now I'm using this every single day for my daily pull, and in fact for my energy obstacle advice reading. And I'm not sick of it. And I have no desire to stop using it. There's something different about this one in that when I start to wonder and worry that maybe it's languishing, that motivates me and I'm able to pick it up and just start using it, because I can just use it for anything. I can just use the This Might Hurt Tarot and it works for anything. The Lunasol, after the initial burst, hasn't been working so well. So I know for sure that if it comes down to it where I feel like I had to do an actual like this or that, only one of these can stay, the This Might Hurt would win every time. And it is feeling like it's leaning this way. It feels like they're too similar, they're too close, and this one just connects, and this one just doesn't. But I don't know if I'm ready to let this go, to give up on it yet, because that's what it feels like. It doesn't feel like it's given up on me. It feels like I'm giving up on it. So those are my thoughts on these right now. I'm gonna put this back on my shelf, but it's in trouble. It's on shaky ground because I am a person who loves new things. I love doing new things. I love the excitement. I get really affected by FOMO. I love the new thing. But even though I love the new thing, I'm also a person that having all the new things isn't actually sustainable. I love the new and exciting, but I'm in unhealthy functionality with it right now. Like, this is why I'm doing a depth year. I keep bringing in new things. And I'm really struggling because I'm trying to find that balance between how do I tell, how can I know when I'm just have an aversion to something because it's going to make me grow like this, or when I have an aversion to something because it's not for me. So for funsies, let's use the tarot deck it couldn't beat to see if it can tell us anything about the Lunasol. So this might hurt. Please tell me about the Lunasol Tarot. Let's do, if I keep it, actually, let's do, what's the energy of my relationship with the Lunasol? Oh, I dropped a card. Hold on. Okay. What is the energy of my relationship with the Lunasol Tarot? I mean, that makes sense. What's the obstacle? Ooh. And the advice? Nope, that's not quite. Oh, no. One card. One, not four. One, please. Okay. It's funny to get 3 majors for something that seems so silly, but this is a big deal to me. And I think it's a big deal because it represents a bigger problem in my life. It represents this difficulty I have with, I love new things and I love exploring. And I really have trouble exploring things in healthy ways that don't take up my space. And I keep forgetting that I get overwhelmed really easily. I get overwhelmed by stuff, and I get overwhelmed by life. And so I need to stop bringing in so much new stuff. This seems very obvious. The energy of my thoughts and my relationship with the Lunasol is it feels like a deck made around this theme of temperance, which is very important to me. The obstacle, we have the Chariot. Let's take a look. I want to say that this is like reversed. It's an obstacle. So if the Chariot is motion and forward movement, the obstacle is that I'm stalled out. Damn, she's such a boss that she has not 1, but 2 motorcycles. There's absolutely no way she can move forward safely. She's literally standing on the seats and her hands aren't even on the throttle. Despite this, the Chariot is about swift, confident movement. How does she do it? If to drive a 2-horse vehicle requires control over both driving forces. If the motorcycles move in the same direction, then the Chariot moves swiftly. If they do not, it can't move at all. Throughout the major arcana, we see a triangular motif where the 2 side-by-side elements represent a duality. And the top center element represents a mediating force. The Charioteer's mediating force is willpower. If this card comes for you, then it's time to find some balance between your badass self and your softer side. You have the ability to hold together contradictory forces and charge towards your goal. The Chariot is about victory through strength of will, after all. Give yourself a pep talk, pull on your armor, and accelerate full throttle. Don't feel confident? Fake it till you do. As long as you are acting with determination and balance, you will surely succeed. And then the advice is the Sun card, and this advice is easy. It's be true to yourself, be authentic. I feel like part of the message here is that I don't need that specific deck to work with the duality and temperance, even though that's what my brain thinks of. Because if I sit back and I think about it, if in my journal, in that list I mentioned in my For Hacks a Deck video, which is up above in the cards, is the Lunasol even on this list? Did I even remember it? The Lunasol, I don't have anything written on here. And my interest level to get to know the Lunasol is much lower. Let's move. Okay, so recently I reorganized, and in fact, some of my decks that are on that list have been relocated to the Purgatory because I just had no interest in working to see if I could find a way to make them work. So if I look here, the Brady Tarot, I know how I like to use that. The Seed and Sickle, I don't know how I like to use it, but I want to learn, and I've had really good experiences with that. The Lunasol is obvious what we're talking about. Up here we have my family of decks. These are the Seasons of the Witch and the Witch's Wisdom. Those all work together. This is, this is my Dream Visions. Cosmovisions. Bonefire, Playful Heart. Marielle. El Goliath. I'm just wondering here, if I look at this collection and I think, okay, roughly 77% of these aren't being used. Oh, and sorry, there is more over there, but those are my Heavenly Bodies, my Power of Surrender, Oracle cards, my Starseeker, Ellis Tarot, Dreams of Gaia, and my Ganeshian Village. And my This Might Hurt goes over there. If I look at these, so that's like a favorites kind of spot. If I look at these, how much, and I ask myself, how much do I want to learn? How much effort and energy am I willing to put into determining if the Lunasol has a place in my collection? That's kind of what I'm wondering looking at all of these is, especially if I compare it, I would rather figure out the Tarot of the She, the Forest of Enchantment, the Marielle. The Marielle is also... I have this weird thing with decks. Does this happen to you? Please tell me. Where I get it in and I have such a strong reaction and then it just goes and it fades. And I don't know if it's me. I don't know what's wrong with me. But I don't think there's a deck here that I would prioritize after the Lunasol. So I think I'm going to take it. I'm going to talk to Z about it and probably have a breakdown and a cry because my emotions are ridiculous today. But I don't... I don't know if I care enough to put in the effort and the energy to try and make this work. And I guess that's where I'm going to leave it because I feel like I'm about to cry. So, this is my weird brain. Thank you for listening. If you did, like, subscribe, all that stuff. Description box has my readings link and whatnot. And I will talk to you all soon. Lots of love. Bye.